Hello, and welcome back to the Fans Corner. Once again, I'm joined with Fred. Fred, how's it going, mate? How are you?
Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. Getting on with. We're in April 12th now, so barber's open. What else has been
Thank
opened?
God for that, mate.
Pubs, everything. Life's getting back to normal, and it's good.
Life
Hopefully,
getting back to that normality,
yeah. Hopefully,
100%.
fans, we should be back.
Hopefully, we'll be back watching the boxing soon.
Mm.
Hopefully. Well, on the topic of boxing, Conor Benn absolutely destroyed Samuel Vargas within 90 seconds last weekend. Fred, what's your thought on Conor Benn making a huge statement within that welterweight division?
Yeah, it was emphatic. I think that was the thing that I know I'm not sure you predicted it, but I personally said, it will probably go the distance because although Conor Benn has shown that he's got some power in open hands, Samuel Vargas was quite a durable opponent, I thought.
Yeah,
But he did well. He caught him early, and then he didn't or you could say he rushed, but it was a conserved rush, wasn't it? He picked his shots quite well, which led to a referee just having to step in. Well, how many seconds was it? 82? 82
something
seconds
like
in.
that. Yeah,
So yeah, it was impressive from him. Definitely put out a statement.
yeah. A second to that, I thought he was going to go the full distance. I personally didn't believe that Conor Benn had the power to put him out straight out
Mm.
within 90 seconds. But
I think he
that
needed
sent
that
shot
statement. I feel like
100%.
he's had a fight. I'm not too sure. It was a few years ago now, but he got dropped twice, didn't he?
Yeah, it was against what's his name? I think the bloke was French. What was his name? Oh, that's gonna bug me.
Cedric Paynaud.
Cedric Paynaud. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. That was a close fight. That was. Yeah, I remember watching it and thinking, is he going to be the next big thing if you can't, overcome someone of? He was a decent level, but he's proven without us wrong with that. 100%.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
just not.
he rematched him.
Yeah, I
later
think that was on the White Park undercard, wasn't it?
So he's shown that he can come back from adversity. He is forming a kind of big repertoire of fighters now. Formella was no formality as such. He was, yeah, smart mate. Formella was a good fighter. He managed to get a win over. And for Samuel Vargas, Amir Khan, everyone's saying about Amir Khan taking him 12 rounds to get out of him, and he's done it in 82 seconds.
Yeah, personally, I mean, my next question is going to be what is next for Ben? And you've touched on obviously Amir Khan, and everyone's saying, "Oh, yeah, Ben Amir Khan," but I don't get what. I just think Khan's washed out. I don't. Ben would knock him. He would. I reckon Ben would do him right in. I couldn't see. Yeah, Khan might have bits and pieces in the fight where he could outclass, but I think his last fight was in Dubai, and that was like a year or two ago. I didn't even know he was still active. I hadn't heard of him. People keep up bringing
he's turned into this reality star almost. I feel like he was on I'm a Celebrity. Yeah. He did all the and it's stuff you'd expect when you retire, not when you're still fighting. If you want to be considered a serious opponent and a serious contender, you don't do all this stuff. He made recently had a BBC free show and put out with his wife. It's all this stuff. For me, it shows that he isn't serious about boxing like something like Conor Benn is. And I think it was definitely an interesting fight. I don't think I'd agree with you that he totally smashed him out because I still think Amir Khan's.
I wouldn't smash him out, but it wouldn't be everyone. It wouldn't be a close fight. I don't think it would be a close fight. I think Conor Benn would. It would be a one. I wouldn't say a one-sided fight, but Conor Benn would assert his dominance, and I think he would take care of him.
Yeah. So he's showing more than Amir Khan. Right now in the stage of his career, but everyone's going to say about how Khan was a world champion at Conor's age. And say, like Eddie did an interview after, he said it's one of the easiest fights he'll ever have to sell. And he's correct because people are going to be very intrigued by this. And if we can't get, Amir Khan Kell Brook, which has been talked about recently. That's probably the next best thing.
That's
British
that's
level,
another fight that fight should be made years ago. If that was going to be a top seller, been years ago, I wouldn't pay for that fight now.
No,
I'd be interested to see what the outcome is, but
both have still gone through. They're almost, I say journeymen. They're not journeymen, but fighting Terence Crawford, you're never going to win that fight, are you? Let's be honest, because they were just chucked in there to be meat like bait for big fish.
I mean, the only fight that I've seen Amir Khan in and thought, this bloke is world level. Is obviously I've not seen all these fights live, but the one fight that I see live was when he fought Canelo, and I thought he was actually beat Canelo on the scorecard. Then he just got absolutely wiped out, and that was it. But don't get me wrong, Amir Khan's he in his prime, he was a brilliant fighter. He was a world champion, but I just don't think he's got it in him anymore. And I think Ben is going to take over. Simple as. But going back to what is next for Ben, what fight do you see being the most intriguing and etc.?
Well, I mean, you probably see him fight pretty soon, I'd imagine. 80 seconds in, he's had a full training camp. He kind of needs that fight to get him back. Well, he needs another fight to be worth his camp. And I think there's a lot of welterweights out there that could provide solid challenges. I mean, you look at the next level. Josh Kelly tried to reach that level, failed against Avanesyan. Are we going to see Avanesyan Ben? I think Avanesyan's probably still a bit higher than Ben on the pecking order right now. But there's definitely a few fights out there for him in the future. The only thing I don't want to happen, say, if Josh Kelly is the new Khan Brook. So we get a situation like that again where, both top prospects, both going up through the divisions, and they're like, well, they shouldn't fight each other yet. Well, when it comes to the yet bit, if no one's willing to risk losing their record or their position, the fight doesn't happen. And it's a dangerous part to be, but hopefully I'd like to see Ben fight in the summer. It's tough. Will Eddie throw him with someone proper competitive? Because obviously he's shown against Vargas that he can that isn't his level anymore. And the next level is probably European world at that level.
I think European is his next, and then after that he's world. I'll second you to the Avanesyan thing. I think him and Avanesyan will be an absolute cracking fight. I think that will be an amazing fight, and I think that is the fight to make. I know Eddie will make calm. If them two agree, that will be it. He'll make that because
it's easy.
He's going to be rolling in it.
Yeah, well, Khan's a matchroom fighter at the moment, is he not? Or did that end?
I don't know.
He did sign.
I don't know who he's
ago,
with.
didn't he? Because he had them couple of fights where he got knocked down in the first round and came back, and then so he had a few fights with Eddie, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, he's with Matchroom, etc. So I don't know who he is with at the moment and what he's doing. I know he's on TV, but
he's wasting his career away. Well, when you look at Kell Brook's career, I suppose it hasn't gone the way he'd like it. I'll tell you what, a good fight brewing could be Conor Benn against one of the Americans. You've got Adrian Broner, Maurice Hooker, a few level that are kind of on their way down now. I bet if he wanted to stay in the division and kind of fight people around, you have still got Michael McKinson who beat Chris Congo, didn't he?
I think that'd be a bit of a step up too soon for McKinson.
Really? I think that's. So. But then again, I could see that fight happening because he's not a matchroom fighter, is he, McKinson? And he would like that kind of fighter.
True. But that's not the direction Ben's going to be wanting to go in, is it? He's going to be going down.
Yeah. It depends on where. If he just keeps on wanting to go up, then there's a lot of fighters out there. A few European. You've got Uzbekistani, the Kazakhstanis.
They're doing well at the moment. But moving on with the Ben Vargas, the undercard was brilliant. You had Shannon Courtney win the WBA bantamweight title against Ebony Bridges. What I don't know. It was a bit of a weird build up. That it was.
It was all about
good,
body image, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah.
Well, that's what Ebony Bridges tried to portray the fight as. Don't get me wrong. I respect her for doing that, so it brings in more audience. But Courtney wanted to get in.
Do you feel like it's the right way to do? Who would you side? Because Ebony Bridges is saying that she's doing it to get more money and to get more views on women's boxing, whereas Shannon Courtney is saying, I don't want that sort of thing in sport.
I'm not big. Yeah, I'm more with Shannon Courtney because I understand what Ebony Bridges is saying, etc. But that's kind of like saying, oh yeah, I'm basically going to sell my body so I can get more money in for. It's a bit like OnlyFans for boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit like a bloke's going to tune in because they want to see this and that. It's like, but Shannon Courtney's in there because she wants to actually do what she's being paid to do. Okay, yeah, you can put on a show and you can put more, but I'm not going to lie to you. They're only going to watch one fighter if that's the way she's doing it. It will be beneficial for Ebony Bridges, but nobody's going to watch that fight. I didn't watch, I watched the fight and it was a great fight. But I don't mind winning boxing. Obviously, when it's on their card, I'll watch it. But it's not the most exciting. And
no,
Ebony Bridges doing this it's not made me as such go, oh yeah, I want to watch women's boxing more just because she's trying to, portray this, this body image of, and it's like that's just I don't know. It's weird, but I'm more in favour of Shannon Courtney 100% because she said countless times, I'm in here for boxing. I'm not in it for a fashion show. Do you know what I mean? So, what about you?
It's difficult because I understand where Ebony Bridges, I think, is doing it from a financial point of view. She thinks that she uses her body. I
respect her for that as well.
She knows it will get more views in, and in fairness, it will. But if we're looking at the longevity, is she going to do this her whole career? Put a bikini on so everyone's looking.
Oh no.
Is she going to do this for every fight that she does? And I just don't think that's the right way she should go. I mean, it's a bigger social issue with the OnlyFans and women selling their body, but that's something that we won't go into. But that's a long topic.
Podcast, bro.
But Shannon Courtney is coming from the right side, and I think they showed with the fight that they can just sell it on their boxing. It was a great scrap.
Yeah. 100%.
And this is nothing. Ebony Bridges saying that she wants to bring more eyes, and therefore it does that job while showing what women's boxing can do. Okay, then, but what point do you say, I've done my job, I don't need to sell it anymore? Because is it going to be the rest of her career? Because she's the only real one doing it, isn't she? Selling her body.
Yeah, none of them are really selling it. But I know she was trying to sell it, but she did show that she can fight with that fight. And I reckon there'll be a rematch down the line with them too, 100%. But remain on the topic of women's boxing, you've got Savannah Marshall defending her WBO middleweight title against Sweden's Maria Lindeberg with a third round KO. Pretty dominant performance from what I saw from Savannah Marshall. What do you see? What do you see next for Savannah Marshall, Fred?
Well, it's all this talk about Clarissa Shields, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think that's a doable fight. I think that's something that could happen in summer. I think a lot of the boxing fans are coming quite disdain of Clarissa Shields because she's using a lot of. Well, I know she said the white prodigy or something like that, and people didn't like that. Bringing race into it, and obviously not respecting Eddie and having beef with him, and Eddie didn't really.
That was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, it was.
He got caught in the middle of a crossfire, didn't
he? Yeah, he was just sitting at home with his cup of tea, and he's just seeing Americans coming.
Oh, Clarissa Shields just called me out.
Oh, does she want to fight? Oh no, she just wants to fight me. But yeah, I think that's a good fight to make. This opponent was how many days' notice did she have?
Don't know. I remember writing the preview for our website, and it must have been it must have been a couple of days.
Yeah, so she had no time. It was never going to be a good contest, was it?
No.
And yeah, say Clarissa Shields' fight is going to happen hopefully soon. And
fingers crossed.
I think that'd be a big super fight to decide who's the number one women in that division.
The top dog. Yeah, 100%. I agree there. Moving on, also on the undercard, you had John Hedges made it 2-0 with an impressive win. He didn't have a great pro debut, John Hedges. I thought he lost that fight personally, and I think a lot of people within the boxing community thought that as well. But with that win that he had on Saturday, certainly showed that he's where he belongs, and he completely outclassed his opponent. So credit to John Hedges for that, and hopefully see him out soon. You had Cash Farouk win the WBC Silver Bantamweight title against Alexander Espinosa. I don't know if you see that fight, Fred, but that was a tasty fight. It was a really good fight.
I didn't manage to catch it, but I heard that he did quite well.
Yeah, it was a quite a 50-50 fight. Yeah. Some people were saying it went one the other way. Some people were saying it was Farouk, but Farouk won that and moves on with his unbeaten record. Now we move on to this weekend's main attraction. Demetrius Andrade versus Liam Williams for the WBO World Middleweight title. Fred, who are you calling?
I mean,
who are you calling to win this one?
Is there any real winner other than Andrade in this? I mean, I know people are saying, like, there was a lot of talk before this fight was made about Eubank Williams, wasn't it? But I think Andrade is a different level. He's a very good fighter. He's made his name in that division now with what title does he have?
The WBO World Middleweight
WBO title, yeah.
The one that Billy Joe Saunders used to have.
Yeah, so he's definitely a good level. And whereas Liam Williams, he's a good national level fighter. He can win them British belts, but will he ever win the world title? He's got a chance. I don't think he hasn't. But he'd have to box very well, and for probably 10 rounds, I can't see him knocking Andrade out. And yeah, I think it's going to be a tough night for Liam. But I'm here to be surprised if he does come out there and shocks everyone. I just can't see it. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing really. And Andrade, he's one of them who I feel is a level above the others in the division. Liam Williams has got 2 losses in his record, so that kind of says to me that he's learned from his mistakes, blah blah blah. But I don't know. This is the first time Liam Williams has fought someone of this world level. Yeah, he could completely shock us. I wouldn't put it past him because he's a great fighter. But
the only thing I would say about Andrade is he hasn't fought many that are world class, like at his level. And I'm not saying Liam Williams is at his level, but it's definitely something that maybe he hasn't been properly tested against the greats of the division. We had to see that, but yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah. Also, another great undercard as well. You've got quite a lot of young and upcoming fighters, but we'll go with another world title fight. You've got Carlos Gongora versus Christopher Pearson for the IBO Super Middleweight title. Then you have got Majidov versus Fedoz. I've actually butchered the name again. Fedozov. So Majidov versus Fedozov. Majidov 3-0, I'm pretty sure. He was last out on the Jacobs versus Brazil undercard of a KO win. He looks like someone who's who's going to be up there soon.
The Eastern Europeans are absolutely deadly right now.
Yeah,
you've got the Uzbekistanis, the Azerbaijani.
I think he is Uzbekistani. Yeah,
I think he's Azerbaijan.
That's it. Yeah, one of them. But yeah, another fight for him. Also, Otto Jones III. He takes on Jorge Castaneda. Did you see Otto Jones' last fight when he drew?
Was this on?
It was on the Gonzalez.
Yes,
Chocolatito Estrada undercard. Yeah, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's back out. How do you think you'll bounce back from nearly losing?
I'm surprised it's not a immediate rematch, because that's what usually happens down there, don't they? If you kind of draw, you'll get the immediate rematch. But the Mexican he fought was very on him, wasn't he? He was kind of running all 100%. After him. And that's what kind of got him the result. He did quite well to get that result. But again, this isn't a Mexican, luckily for him. But he's another good opponent. Well, I say good, should be at his level, someone that he should be able to get through 8 rounds this time rather than 6. So maybe he has that extra time to get the points at the end of the fight. But no, another fight that he should be able to come through with relative ease.
100%. I think you'll win this one and push on. Also, can be a learning curve for him as well. Drawing that fight, it will take a lot out from that fight, giving him a bit of a test as well. But Aaron Aponte takes on Javier Martinez. No, not the Bayern Munich centre back. It's not him. Don't worry. He's not gone to boxing. That's just, to me, looking at it, Aaron Aponte, he's unbeaten. Javier Martinez looks like a journeyman. So that kind of jumps out to me as a fight that it's just building up the record of Aponte. He's a young prospect who looks dangerous and looks like he could do a lot of damage and make it to the top. So that's boxing for next Saturday. I think there's an Italian card as well with DAZN on Friday, I'm pretty sure. That's for the... I can't remember who's fighting, but I know it's for the European... Union. The European Union. What weight division?
I think it was it cruiserweight? Was it the
heavy? Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was cruiserweight. Sorry, cruiserweight. So that's out in Italy on Friday on DAZN. So wrapping up that's for Saturday's actual boxing event. Also got Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Fred, will you be watching that?
I probably will, but only because I'm going to be staying up for Andrade Williams, and because I'd love to see Jake Paul get knocked out. I think that's what he's being sold on at the moment. You know, as much as he has got a fan base, I'm sure at least 60% of the viewers are there to see him get knocked out. It's not going to happen.
Do you not think so?
I just don't think, as much as Ben Askren is a fighter, and I've watched him a lot. People are saying that he can't punch. He can punch. He just can't punch powerfully. And he probably won't be going in there to knock him out. So I just, it's going to be tough for Askren to put much damage. Although as long as he kind of stays disciplined and keeps on doing it for the whole fight, and doesn't go looking for that punch, if he can kind of outpoint him, I'm pretty sure he'll win it comfortably and put a bit of damage on him by the end of the fight. I'm not sure how many rounds this is.
Mate.
It can't be more than 6, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's kind of looking for him to get knocked out, really.
Yeah. I hope he does as well, mate. Can't stand him. Really can't stand him.
Yeah, he's a online presence. I don't even think in real life he's just an annoying personality.
He's just a knobhead, isn't he? He just is
a typical American and black type of. I don't know where he's from. Ohio, is it?
I don't know. I don't even. To be fair, I don't mind. His brother's all right, Logan Paul. He's a bit more down to earth than. He did some mistakes and whatever. But
that's only because he made them mistakes and had to get hustled by.
Exactly, that's made him. Do you know what I mean? But just Jake Paul, he walks around like he's fucking. Floyd Mayweather. It's like you've had two fights. One of them's been against a former professional basketball player. Getting in the room with a professional boxer like Tommy Fury, and you won't be laughing, you won't be smiling. But it will be interesting to see what happens. Definitely on Saturday against Ben Askren.
I have been annoyed in the previous. He's saying now, what excuses are people going to have now? I'm saying, well, quite a lot, because he's an MMA fighter and a wrestler at that. He doesn't box when you watch him fight. It's just we might as well stuck him in with Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall would destroy him.
Yeah, he would. That's another kind of fake fight coming up, but I'm not sure. Is it in the summer, 2021? Bjorn.
Eddie Hall.
Oh yeah, Eddie Hall.
Yeah, Bjorn. I think so.
No one to look forward to, but yeah, I'll be staying up for it. Just hoping he gets knocked out.
So, keeping on the topic of entertainment within the sport of boxing, who would you say is the most entertaining fighter in and out of the ring? Don't say any of the Jake Paul or Logan Paul. Please don't. Please don't say anyone like that, because I will end the podcast. Similar.
I'm gone. I mean, you got Chisora's one of the main ones. Loves to put on a show, but also
love to throw chairs and make weird analogies.
Do a bit of stuff outside the ring.
The lexicals, I will go through you.
Bit of a weird analogy.
Yeah. Dillian White's face is priceless, mate.
Yeah, but it's always the heavyweights inside the ring that usually you got some of the old school. Ricky Adams, I know you like Miguel Cotto, always entertaining when you watch him fight.
He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was an entertaining fighter. He was an entertaining fighter in the ring. But
not outside,
you wouldn't have seen. But I
think that's a different period of time. I think back then you could get away with that and do that, but now it's kind of very much, you have to be the full package. Like Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, I think, suffer from it. They can't chat as well as they fight, and that's
particularly Daniel Dubois. I'm sorry, but that is so forced on.
It's horrible, ain't it? Listening.
It's cringy watching it sometimes. Yeah. It's like he almost doesn't want to be there. He just wants to get in the ring and fight. Like it's part and parcel of boxing, but
that's something that I think Eddie Hearn's gone a bit under the radar with. He's selected fighters that can talk, because he understands that that's part of the business now. You need to be able to talk.
I've said it. I've said it before. Being at Eddie Hearn's events, it's entertainment. It's not just boxing. You feel entertained, I just think it's brilliant that he's not only promoting boxing. So I'm not expecting people to start dancing in the ring, etc. But I don't know. It's just there's a vibe of entertainment, and with Eddie Hearn's events, I haven't been to a Freight War event, so I don't really know what it's like. Watching it on TV, it doesn't really seem the same. But
I've been to both, and there's not massive differences, but the kind of crowd it brings is a bit different. Like it's a bit more of a ultralist crowd and boxing fanatic crowd at Frank Mons, whereas Eddie Hearn's like, there's a big fight this weekend, should we get tickets for it? Like more a couple friendly, I suppose is probably the word.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But they both have their benefits.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can't knock both of them. Both of them are amazing promoters. 100%. Going back to Christian Fred.
I'll go with Derek Chisora. I love watching him every time he's on. And he works that he can talk outside and make a press conference interesting. So, I'll go for him.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably forgotten about this bloke, but I'm going to go with Prince Nazim.
Yeah, I was thinking of him, but I can't remember. I don't personally remember him, so.
Well, I've watched so much stuff on him. He knew how to entertain, and he could box. And he put both together, and that was, as you said, that is a promoter's dream. Somebody who can entertain and somebody who can actually box. at the end of his career when he lost to, I think it was Chavez. That was when he was on his downfall. But other than that, he was like Marmite. You either liked him or you hated him. And have you seen that Wayne Warren, Frank Warren documentary?
Yeah. I was watching it right now. I'm 30 minutes.
Yeah.
In.
Have you?
Is he going to bit of that?
I suppose you haven't seen a bit about Prince and Nazim.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I won't spoil it too much for you, but there's one bloke and he says like, I literally couldn't stand Prince Nazim. Yeah, he was a good fighter, but he was so cocky and arrogant. And I get that. There's a fine line between being entertaining and being. It's like that Florian Marco at the moment. I feel like he's a bit too cocky. Yeah, he's a brilliant fighter, and it brings crowds in, but it's not. It's just it winds me up when people get that cocky. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going with Prince Nazim for that one. You say?
Two good picks, I said. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think both would. Boxing is no longer about just fighting, whether you like it or not. It's about the whole fight week. The fight workout. You don't want to see someone just do it and then go home with a bit of a dull face. You want them to put on a show at pre-workout, press conference. You're tuning in because you want to see what they want to say. Weigh in as well. Got a few bits to say there. I think Tony Bellew as well. You could probably talk about.
Yeah, he's number one as well. Yeah, David Haye as well. You've got a lot, but I just think Prince Nazim was a lot. I don't know, there was something about him.
Yeah,
to put on a show, etc. But I think we're going to wrap it up there, Fred.
Yeah.
Again, thanks for coming on. And
no problem. Enjoyed it.
Look forward to this exciting weekend of boxing. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you next week.